What can you tell me about the current David situation, D4VD?
Singer David D4VD, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, is under investigation after a 15-year-old girl was found dead in his Tesla. He's cancelled his tour dates and the investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed yet.
Now, I know that there's no charges being filed and all the rest of it, and I know that she was found in his Tesla, but obviously it was impounded a couple of days prior to the body being found. What's the context of her actually being found, though? Like, did they just stumble across it?
The body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in David D4VD's Tesla, which was impounded a few days before the discovery. She had been missing since April 2024, and her death is being treated as a homicide. The circumstances around how she was found haven't been fully detailed yet, but authorities are investigating the case thoroughly. David D4VD is cooperating with the investigation.
I know he's cooperating and stuff, which is obviously fantastic for the case, but at this same time, obviously he must be a lead suspect, right?
Given the circumstances, it's reasonable to consider him a person of interest in the investigation. However, authorities are likely exploring all possibilities. Cooperation can help clarify his role and the facts surrounding the case.
Okay, but what about the context of what his family, or what Celeste's family, have come out and stated with regards to her allegedly being in a relationship with someone called David, her passing away or going missing at least when she was 13 back in 2024, and also the fact that she has a matching sh tattoo with David on her index finger. What does that tell us?
Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family is devastated by her death and has launched a GoFundMe campaign for her funeral expenses. There's no specific information about her having a relationship with David or any matching tattoo. If that information emerges, it could be relevant in understanding the context of the case. For now, authorities are continuing their investigation.
But there is confirmed fact that they share the same tattoo on their index finger. And also, Celeste's family have come out and stated as much as, apparently Celeste was in a relationship with someone named David before her disappearance in 2024. Also, there's also context of an alleged hush money scandal going on where apparently David was paying her or the family $10,000 to allow this relationship to go ahead. Now that at this current time is just speculation across the internet and from sources close to the family. But what can you tell me about that?
There is a lot of speculation and unconfirmed information circulating online. It's important to differentiate between verified facts and rumors. While there may be claims about a shared tattoo or a relationship, these details would need to be verified by reliable sources or official statements. The investigation is ongoing, and until more concrete information is available, it's best to rely on confirmed details from official sources.
Absolutely, and I completely agree with that. Also, what can you tell me about why David D4VD hasn't actually been arrested yet? Why are the police not arresting him, considering the body was found in his registered Tesla Model 3, and considering the Tesla, obviously as we know, is registered to him and was found outside of his or close to his property at the time of it being towed a couple of days ago?
In criminal investigations, the police need substantial evidence before making an arrest. While David's car being involved is a significant factor, authorities must gather enough concrete evidence to establish probable cause before arresting someone. The investigation is likely ongoing to ensure all details are thoroughly examined and that the correct legal procedures are followed.
But what would justify probable cause in this instance? What would need to be discovered to prove an airtight case against potentially David or someone else?
Probable cause requires evidence suggesting a strong likelihood that the person committed the crime. In this case, this might include, firstly, physical evidence, DNA, fingerprints, or other forensic links between David and the victim; digital evidence, messages, location data, or communications that establish a connection. Thirdly, witness testimony, statements from people who can link David to the crime. Fourthly, any evidence suggesting a reason for the crime. These elements together help establish probable cause.
Okay, so based off of the information that we know thus far, how likely is it that David is, of course, not only the prime suspect, but what's the probability that this could be a potential framing?
Without concrete evidence, it's difficult to determine the likelihood of David being the prime suspect or being framed. The presence of the victim in his car certainly raises questions, but investigators would need to thoroughly examine all angles, including any possibility of framing. Each piece of evidence must be carefully scrutinized before drawing any conclusions.
But what do we know from the body of Celeste? Obviously, we know that it was deeply decomposed, and it's suggested that the body could have potentially started decomposition from around the time of her disappearance, about 17 months ago, back in April of 2024. But what does the body suggest could have possibly happened? Obviously, there's no official reports from an autopsy as of right now, but based off the information that we have public.
Given the condition of Celeste's body and the time since her disappearance, it's clear she had been deceased for an extended period. However, without an official autopsy report, it's difficult to draw definitive conclusions. The body suggests she might have been in the car for some time, but precise details on the cause and circumstances of death would require medical examination. The investigation is ongoing to uncover more specifics.
Do we know why or what context in which the body was found in? Was it a tip-off to the local yard, or was it because of a smell? What was the reason for the workers finding that body?
Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was found in the front trunk of David's impounded Tesla after reports of a foul odor. The car had been abandoned in Hollywood Hills and then towed to a yard. Authorities discovered her body wrapped in a plastic bag, and it was severely decomposed. The investigation is ongoing, and the case is being treated as a homicide.
Obviously, the front trunk of a Tesla is incredibly small, too small to fit a human body in, even if it was a 13-year-old at the time, who would have been 15 now. Was the body found all in one piece, or was it in pieces?
The reports indicate that Celeste's body was found intact but severely decomposed. It was located in the front trunk of the Tesla, which is relatively small. The specifics around how the body was placed there are still under investigation. The authorities will be working to understand all the circumstances surrounding this tragic event.
What's the fallout been for David publicly as of right now? I know that he's had all of his tours cancelled, collaborations cancelled, and he's basically been dropped from all, public advertisements by his record label Interscope and Sony. But what else? What can you tell me about his career moving forwards now? How is it looking for him?
David's career has taken a significant hit. His tour dates have been cancelled, promotional activities paused by his record label, and brands like Crocs and Hollister have dropped him from campaigns. Additionally, efforts are being made to remove his collaborations from streaming platforms. It's likely his future in the industry will be heavily impacted.
Okay, and is there any more relevant information that you can tell me as of right now with regards to this case that we haven't gone over yet, and if there's anything moving forwards that we can probably expect to happen, and what kind of timelines can we expect to see for an autopsy, for investigative research into devices, social media stuff, and things like this?
The key focus will be on the autopsy results, which could take a few weeks to provide detailed insights into the cause of death. Investigators will likely be examining digital evidence, including phone records and social media, to establish a timeline and any connections. As the investigation progresses, we can expect updates on potential charges or suspects. Overall, the timeline for these developments can vary depending on the complexity of the case, but updates should come in the next few weeks to months.
Okay, thank you very much.